any kind of body whatsoever, any kind of feeling, perception, volition and consciousness whatsoever, whether past, future or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, all the aggregates should be seen as they really are with correct wisdom thus: this is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself. This is called monks, a noble disciple who dismantles and does not build up, who abandons and does not cling, who scatters and does not amass, who extinguishes and does not kindle. And what is it that he dismantles and does not build up? He dismantles body and does not build it up. He dismantles feeling, perception, volition, consciousness and does not build it up. Stop here for a moment. Dismantle and not build up means he practices towards the cessation of the five aggregates, not the building up of the five aggregates in a future life, in a future body and mind. And what is it that he abandons and does not cling to? He abandons body and does not cling to it. He abandons feeling, perception, volition and consciousness and does not cling to it. And what is it that he scatters and does not amass? He scatters body and does not amass it. He scatters feeling, perception, volition, consciousness and does not amass it. And what is it that he extinguishes and does not kindle? He extinguishes form and does not kindle it. He extinguishes body and does not kindle it. He extinguishes feeling, perception, volition, consciousness and does not kindle it. Seeing thus, monks, the instructed or the learned noble disciple experiences revulsion towards body, revulsion towards feeling, perception, volition, consciousness. Experiencing revulsion, he becomes dispassionate. Through dispassion, his mind is liberated. When it is liberated, there comes the knowledge it's liberated. He understands, destroyed is birth, the holy life has been lived, what had to be done has been done. There is no more for the state of being. This is called monks, a noble disciple who neither builds up nor dismantles, and who abides having dismantled, who neither abandons nor clings, but who abides having abandoned, who neither scatters nor amasses, but who abides having scattered, who neither extinguishes nor kindles, but who abides having extinguished. And what is it, monks, that he neither builds up nor dismantles, but abides having dismantled? He neither builds up nor dismantles body, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness, but abides having dismantled them. And what is it that he neither abandons nor clings to, but abides having abandoned? He neither abandons nor clings to body, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness, but abides having abandoned them. And what is it that he neither scatters nor amasses, but abides having scattered? He neither scatters nor amasses body, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness, but abides having scattered them. And what is it that he neither extinguishes nor kindles, but abides having extinguished? He neither extinguishes nor kindles body, feeling, perception, volition and consciousness, but abides having extinguished them. When a monk is thus liberated in mind, the Devas together with Indra, Brahma and Pajapati pay homage to him from afar. Homage to you, O thoroughbred man. Homage to you, O highest among men. We ourselves do not directly know, dependent upon what you meditate. That's the end of the sutta. So, a lot of these suttas are quite similar, except that here this sutta it explains what you mean by body, what you mean by feeling, perception, volition and consciousness. Then at the end it says, if a monk has become liberated and become an arahant, even from far away, the devas will pay respect to this arahant. 22.80. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Sakyans at Kapilavatu in Nigroda's park. Then the Blessed One, having dismissed the monks for a particular reason, dressed in the morning and taking bowl and robe, entered Kapilavatthu for alms. When he had walked for alms in Kapilavatthu and had returned from the alms round, after his meal he went to the great wood for the day's abiding. Having plunged into the great wood, he sat at the foot of a baluva sapling for the day's abiding. Then, while the Blessed One was alone in seclusion, a reflection arose in his mind thus: the Sangha of monks has been dismissed by me. There are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see me, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Just as when a young calf does not see its mother, there may take place in it some alteration or change. So too, there are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see me, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Just as when young seedlings do not get water, there may take place in them some alteration or change. So too, there are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see me, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Let me assist the Sangha of monks now, just as I have assisted it in the past. Stop here for a moment. So in this sutta, the Buddha was not happy with the monks, so he dismissed them and he went for alms round, and after his meal he went into the forest and spent the day alone. And then he reflected that maybe he should not leave the Sangha because there are a lot of new monks. Without a leader, the new monks are not steady yet. They may have a change of heart many times. If the abbot of a monastery is not around, sometimes the young monks they disrobe. So the Buddha reflected on this. Then he thought he should go back to them. Then Brahma Sahampati, having known with his own mind the reflection in the Blessed One's mind, just as quickly as a strong man might extend his drawn-in arm or draw in his extended arm, disappeared from the Brahma world and reappeared before the Blessed One. He arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, raised his joined hands in reverential salutation towards the Blessed One, and said to him, "So it is, Blessed One, so it is, Fortunate One. The Sangha of monks has been dismissed by the Blessed One. There are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see the Blessed One, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Just as when a young calf does not see its mother, there may take place in it some alteration or change. So too, there are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see the Blessed One, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Just as when young seedlings do not get water, there may take place in them some alteration or change. So too, there are monks here who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhammavinaya. If they do not see the Blessed One, there may take place in them some alteration or change. Venerable Sir, let the Blessed One take delight in the Sangha of monks. Let the Blessed One welcome the Sangha of monks. Let the Blessed One assist the Sangha of monks now just as he has assisted it in the past." The Blessed One consented by silence. Then Brahma Sahampati, having understood the Blessed One's consent, paid homage to the Blessed One, and keeping him on his right, he disappeared right there. Stop here for a moment. You see, this Brahma Sahampati is quite helpful. Sometimes he feels that his presence is needed, he will come. So his Brahma heaven is so far away, but because of his great psychic power, he can just fly down here so fast, just as you can draw in your arm or extend your arm so fast. And the Arahant disciples of the Buddha, including the Buddha, are also like that. They have also such great psychic power. When they think they want to go to the Brahma heavens, immediately their body can fly there. So in this case, this Brahma Sampati, this Brahma Sampati is the one when the Buddha was enlightened and then decided not to teach the Dhamma. He came to beg the Buddha to teach the Dhamma and set the wheel rolling. So here he has come again. Actually, holy men like the Buddha, they are always watched after by the Devas. Ping Chao, don't sit like that. I cannot listen to Dhamma. Then in the evening, the Blessed One emerged from seclusion and went to Nigroda's park. He sat down in the appointed seat and performed such a feat of psychic power that the monks would come to him alone and in pairs, in a timid manner. Then those monks approached the Blessed One, alone and in pairs, in a timid manner. Having approached, they paid homage to the Blessed One and sat down to one side. Let's stop here for a moment. So the Buddha used his psychic power to make the monks decide to come to him. So they came, sometimes they came alone, sometimes they came in pairs and all that. The Blessed One then said to them, "Monks, this is the lowest form of livelihood, that is gathering alms. In this world, this is a term of abuse. You alms gatherer or alms beggar, you roam about with a begging bowl in your hand. And yet monks, clansmen intent on the good, take up that way of life for a valid reason. It is not because they have been driven to it by kings that they do so, nor because they have been driven to it by thieves, nor owing to debt, nor from fear, nor to earn a livelihood, but they do so with the thought, I am immersed in birth, aging and death, in sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure and despair. I am immersed in suffering, oppressed by suffering. Perhaps an ending to this entire mass of suffering might be discerned." Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is telling them, you monks, you are beggars, and this is the lowest form of livelihood. In the, sometimes we read the 10 contemplations that a monk has to make. The first contemplation is, I am now come to the state of being an outcast. This outcast is, in India they have the caste system. So in the caste system they have 4 castes. The highest is supposed to be either the warriors, Khattiya, or the Brahmins, the priests caste, and then followed by the merchants, the Vesa, followed by the workers, Sutta. So these are the 4 castes. Now there are some so low they are considered out of this class, and monks are supposed to be like that. They have no caste, no caste out. They are out of the caste. That's why they are outcasts. So here the Buddha says a monk is livelihood, is the lowest form of livelihood. But the Buddha says still people take up monkhood for a good reason, and not because they are forced by kings or forced by debt or because of fear or anything, but because they realize that there is suffering, there is earth, there is birth, aging and dying, and all kinds of suffering. So to end all that suffering, that's why we wear the robe. It is in such a way, monks, that this clansman has gone forth. Yet he is covetous, inflamed by lust for sensual pleasures, with a mind full of ill will, with intentions corrupted by hate, muddle-minded, lacking clear comprehension, unconcentrated, scatterbrained, loose in his sense faculties, just as a brand from a funeral pyre, burning at both ends and smeared with excrement in the middle, cannot be used as timber either in the village or in the forest. In just such a way do I speak about this person. He has missed out on the enjoyments of a householder, yet he does not fulfill the goal of asceticism. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha is saying that there are some monks